that moment when you start the recording first, and then I'm gonna go up. Boo! Right. Welcome back, my name is Nujum. Last time we did Sundown Path, I messed around with some video options, so hopefully it won't frame super hard. I'll try to keep my eye on it, but obviously I want to focus on the game. What were we talking about? We were talking a lot about Russell and the kid. I probably talked too much about it. I have that habit of just repeating myself.
The dead welcome him with open arms.
Oh god, this area. This is like one of those areas where if you're not ready for feels...
The calamity took everybody after all.
Run. Although I guess it depends on if you're playing, like...
Kid sees it plain, frozen faces all around.
It depends on how fast you're playing.
You don't much care to see him. Not like this.
Oh, so no more exposition? Okay. I don't like this platform because it looks like you can jump on it, but you can't. Curse you, environment! This area... Now, let's take a look at some things, right? Yes, we have the broken... these weird plants. We have the floating platforms. Oh, if you can't tell, I downscaled the resolution, so... it kinda sucks that now we're not in 1280 by 720, but I think it'll be better if we're lower resolution and overall higher frame rate.
These folks never saw the calamity coming, but someone did. Someone close.
Ooh, more mystery. Mystery and intrigue is the name of this game, basically. Not really, it's Bastion. Take a look at the background. I was sort of distracted by the floating stuff, but this looks like kind of a normal town square area. There's like these curtains that imply like there were shops or something here. This looks very much like a road. This ship we know was used in the world in some way for moving around. There's these very decorative stairs, and it's more so than the other areas. In the other areas you had grass like basically everywhere, but this feels like a city. And it's populated by people.
Someone who ain't like Mr. Beckley and his kindly wife.
All of whom have a story implied in them. Whether or not
someone like him.
Whether or not this story is real sort of depends on how you feel about imagination, right? Because I've heard the argument before that it's illogical to care about these characters because you never see them, right? But there's still an implication of life there that I think everyone respects. Because I'll be straight up, right? No one wants to die. No one wants to die. And the idea of death, I think, scares a lot of us. And so just by putting it here, it's a weird way to make you face it. And then we have this guy.
Kid sees him there agape, in the flesh. Hits a snag or two trying to get to him.
Now we have actual enemies.
No matter what.
Alright, feels bad time is over. Let's get into the action part of the game.
So many questions after all.
Oh god darn it. Really? Oh my god. I'm probably supposed to use the shield a bunch here. Let's just do this, yeah. Alright. Video game logic.
Just ain't got time for answers.
Darn you. Teaching me to kill all the enemies.
The Thunder brothers didn't make it. They never saw what it was like beyond the walls.
The walls is something we don't know yet, right?
Didn't make it.
I don't think we're familiar with the idea of the walls yet, so it's interesting that he brings it up without really going into detail.
The Jawsons, they didn't make it.
Most likely a storytelling thing that I just don't understand.
Grady Sr., Grady Jr. They didn't make it. But him, he survived.
They're throwing out a lot of words.
Kid finds proof enough that man ain't from around here.
Proof enough. That man. So we look at this man, right? You can see him here. Interestingly, he's in a different position than before. Wasn't he like... Oh, sorry, friends. Okay, so we were there before. Was he standing like that? I think he was. Maybe he was. Okay.
Just think, without that man, we wouldn't be here right now.
There's... Right, this is where Russell starts being really mysterious. And it actually works really well because the whole plot is very, much trying to tell you as little as it can, right? Sort of snipe these guys off from a distance. I should talk more about the gameplay. I really haven't done it justice. It's just... Bastion does so many things really well around the gameplay. But the gameplay itself is actually super solid.
Well.
You see what I have to do?
Kid does what he has to do.
And even the narrator punctuates it, what you've done. It's not that these people are truly alive, but there's something about whether or not you choose to kill these people. I think that's... Do you really respect these people? They aren't real people, technically speaking. But the idea of them still exists, and we like to respect our people, even when they're not real.
Too much? Kid hasn't a clue, but he says this. We have to go. Please.
Aw, that's really good. That's really good.
He's a proper gentleman, that man. His name is Zulf. No hiding he's an Ura. Folks like him ain't never been a common sight in Caelondia. He's relieved to see a living face or two. The kid and I introduce ourselves in kind. Both to him and to each other for the first time.
Okay. So now we have Zulf. Notice a few things, right? One, that loading screen's amazing. Two, look at these characters. From the exposition we got, we know that Zulf isn't like either one of us, being us or Rux, who actually still hasn't said his name, has he? Ask about the Ura, discover... Were there many Ura living in the city before the calamity? Can they be trusted? So now we have a very clear distinction of someone who's not like us. Someone who is an Ura, which is an unfamiliar word to us at this point, but whatever. Let's ask Ruckus about the Ura.
We fought the Ura decades ago, but that was then. Things are different between us now.
Oh, we have a lot of stuff to ask. I actually want to really quickly look at the Ura sigil. Insignia born by the people of Thur-Friday. The Tazel spade was a rare sight in Caelondia before the calamity, as very few Ura lived in the city before. Now there are fewer still. So, this is the insignia born by the people of the Ura. This is the insignia for Caelondia. So we have two very clear distinctions here. Ask about...
He was born in the Tazel terminals. The Ura sent him on a mission of peace to our city, and he's lived here ever since.
Peace is a good thing. We like peace.
Zulf offers to help me plot the skyways for the kid. At least the calamity hasn't touched the stars, he says.
Sounds reasonable. You wouldn't happen to see her Royal Award this summer?
We all lost loved ones in the calamity, he says. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without mine.
Oh, that was a really interesting one. Because, like, out of all of these things we have now, we've collected a few things at this point. They don't let us ask about these two, but they let us ask about our loved one, right? From our understanding of the Crystal Barrette, this is sort of a representation of some kind of girlfriend, just maybe a friend that the kid had. And so the fact that we were even able to ask him about the beret is really interesting. It says a lot, not just about Zulf, but about the kid. And it gives them an opportunity to just appreciate the people we have.
For Zulf, Ceylandia was like a second home. He's real worried about his first home, too. Far to the east.
I wonder what they're referencing. But okay, let's get down to business, right?
The cores. They remember. That's why this place is coming together. That's why things are gonna be alright.
That's why things are gonna be alright. Oh, that's such a good line! Rux, please. Am I still framing here, by the way? Oh, a little bit. But I think it's better than before,
Well,
though.
look what we have here.
So we have some new stuff to build. Let's get back to the game. Calamity tore the old world to pieces, yet even the smallest fragments can be restored to the Bastion. So you can see how the world gets a little bit deep, right? With just minimal observation. I don't want to say what I've done is minimal. I feel like it takes an awareness and a desire to learn to really look at all of these descriptions and say, I wonder what they're trying to say with this, right? For example, he's from the east. I live here, where I live is America, right? And here in America, there might be someone to the east that we were at war with a long time ago, and we are struggling for relationships with. So keep that in mind in the future of that character. Anyways, memorial structure of chronologies past and future, and necessary testament to the calamity by paying tribute to the past one may better for future. So note that in terms of gameplay functionality, these descriptions are useless, right? Like, in terms of gameplay functionality, we don't know anything, but we can get an idea of them by the name. Lost and found. Well, what would we have lost, right? Well, there were probably trinkets that we missed. And that's exactly it, by the way. Lost and found gives you trinkets that you missed, secrets that you missed. So if you're playing the game fast, hey, don't worry about it. We're here to help. And I really appreciate that they have this option at all, actually. I think it's a really cool thing. Then we have the memorial. And the memorial is what I'm going to build. Pops up out of nowhere, very cool. Interestingly, it has a candle.
The
Spooky.
memorial. Here a kid can pay respect to the old world and earn it in kind.
So here, of course, the old world is referring to before the calamity. So the memorial is really cool. Basically, it's you pay tribute to varying groups. The culture, the service, so that's like the military. The menders, so they're like blacksmiths. Gravers, war machete. So I guess those are like hunters, maybe? Trappers. That sounds more like a hunter. And you have these sort of conditions to meet, right? Defeat a hardy foe with the last bolt in a clip. Hardy, I'm assuming, means like an enemy with a large amount of health, right? So we can't like click on these to take them, but you know, regardless, it's just here's a challenge, go for it. Like, this is something I feel like I can do pretty easily. And we get a reward for it. We get 500. Is there anything past 500? Yeah, there is. Restore the land piece by piece. Raise the required number of land pieces for travel. Wow, that's a not very controllable one. Touched by a calamity. Create an iron number of different species. Also not very controllable. This is sort of a contention point with me. Have I said that word enough yet? Contention. Am I even using that word right? I'm suddenly being very aware that every once in a while I'll use a word incorrectly. Hold on. Right, so contention means it's just a discussion, generally a negative discussion, right? Oh god, I don't even remember what I was talking about. No! Oh, achievements, right. I feel like achievements need to be controllable. If an achievement is something like, you beat the game, I guess, like, I'm not against achievements like that, but I like achievements that I have some control over. Like, those are my favorite types of achievements. Whoa. I like the, I'm not sure if you noticed the notepad thing. It's not too important. I won't emphasize it. So, progress 1 out of 1. Construct a memorial to Ceylandia. We built the memorial. Hey, we get a reward.
Just another one of my sketches.
Pretty straightforward way to teach the player how it works, I think. Yeah, we have
Words
time.
Words can't express what happened, but they're all I got.
We can go for a little bit longer, I think.
We tracked down a couple more cores near the edge of the city.
Ooh. Ooh. Too bad it lies in the toughest fort in the city. Nestled. God of commotion and order.
There's Pith Orchard, built in honor of the bull, and folks like Zulf, who pray to him.
Ooh.
That's Cinderbrick Fort, where the marshals used to watch over the city.
Let's get all the spiritual stuff out of the way. I don't want to talk too much on things that I can easily screw up.
No use praying to the gods these days. No time for it either.
Like, that piece of commentary there, I feel like, can be very frequently and easily disputed. But I shouldn't point that out. Oh god, I'm a terrible person.
Pith Orchard. Place is a dead end in more ways than one.
Oh, that's cool. It looks kind of like it's broken in some way. Let's go this way, then.
Folks used to make pilgrimage here to pay their respects to Pith, the bull. Well, the gods are long gone now. And the orchard core is long gone too.
I want to...
Seems
maybe...
Pith ain't much of a watchdog.
So this is Pith the bull, by the way. Maybe one day, when I'm better at the whole talking thing, I'll talk about religion in games, because I feel like every
Pith
game...
stood for something once. Something real.
I feel like every game that I play that tries to put religion in it just sort of uses a sort of like, oh, these were the bad guys because religion. And I hate that, because I don't know about you, but I don't think every religious person in the world is necessarily the bad guy, you know? It's a weird thing games do, and maybe one day we'll get better at it, but not now. Right now, we should pay attention to the game, which is, there's no enemies here. And this is getting
the bull
creepy.
stopped being a symbol and started being decoration.
Oh, we just stepped on a cat, I think. There was something here, I don't really know. Does this feel creepy yet? We're walking through this sort of religious grounds.
Pith makes a decent scarecrow at least.
Almost sort of trespassing. Whoa!
Then Pith lights up like a rodeo.
Okay, we don't take damage as long as we're like behind a shield, but I don't really want to rely on that. What is he doing? Whoa, this guy's crazy.
Punching through his hide.
I don't know about like being something of worship, but as a bull, he's got some really cool stuff going for him. I really like that attack. It's just kind of silly.
It breaks into bits.
There's like a charm
Must have
to
been
it.
guarding that shrine. So what'll it be? Invoke the gods, or tell them off?
Foes grow quicker and move striker. Oh, this is something we have to talk about. This is the shrine. Probably one of the coolest structures in the game. So have you ever looked at difficulty systems and been confused as to where you land on them? Because I feel that way about a lot of games. Like, let's take Call of Duty. Call of Duty has like an easy mode, a normal mode, and then they have like this like veteran or heroic mode. And most games do this, right? When they're difficulty settings. Bastion decided not to do that. Instead, your difficulty is entirely up to you. Now, granted, it's a little bit into the game at this point to really have a difficulty setting.
Pith.
But basically what Bastion does, it sort of lets you make things more difficult for yourself if you don't feel challenged enough. And this is really cool in my opinion. You'll see it more when we get more of these sort of symbols. But letting the player control their own difficulty, in my opinion, is really powerful if they're an experienced gamer. I feel like in some games it'll be just kind of overwhelming for the player to like constantly be like, okay, I'm just getting beat up all the time, let me take off this. But this is really cool because it provides a very clear incentive for the player, right? Gain more money and experience. Who doesn't want more money and experience, right? And in turn, you set the difficulty basically for yourself at somewhere you're comfortable playing. Whoa.
Well, if the gods are alive, they must be plenty sore.
Oh god. I feel like my hammer keeps missing these squirts. Their camera's really zoomed out at the moment. That's interesting. I imagine it'll zoom in a second because the camera's not normally this zoomed out, right? Alright. I'm checking the thing again for lag. Whoa, we have like a new turret type thing. I feel so pro. Oh, these are green guys.
Kid ain't never seen windbags that quick. Maybe old Pith put a scare in him.
Alright. So, we know we had this peaceful area before. Oh, I'm so sorry, bros. But now we have to trespass it again. Which is kind of cool, right? Because you know the way you're going now. You know which way you're supposed to go. And you know like what the path is. Not that it really makes much of a difference gameplay-wise, but it just feels kind of cool to like have that experience of being here again, if that makes sense. Hello, friends. God, I'm like blocking at all the wrong times. Sorry, Pith, not today. I thought you were supposed to fight him, but I guess not. Maybe later. Bam!
Kid ain't found a core, but at least he found Zulf's precious shrine.
Where's the... Oh, there it is, okay. So yeah, no core, again. But that was a fun level. We got to do like a cool back and forth thing.
Now we can build a shrine of our own, though I got some alternatives in mind.
Unfortunately, we don't have a core to build it on. Interesting how Ruckus went back there. Anyways, yeah, I guess I can talk about a few things. For one thing, notice how gradually they're introducing you to new enemies. It feels kind of slow, but it's actually pretty quick, right? Like, every area, I think we've encountered something new, be it the stinkweeds, the green squirts that are on our side, the giant gas fellas. This time we encountered Pit, and we encountered a new type of turret. And they do it very fast, which makes this game, because this game is very short, right? This game is one of the shorter games that you will ever play, and that's has a lot of positives and negatives attached to it, right? I don't really want to be talking and just sitting around doing nothing. I'll talk about it next time when we have a better example, maybe like a working example. We can talk more about the gameplay. My mic just fell over. Anyways, thank you all for watching. My name's Nujum. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!